Troops neutralized 2 terrorists, arrest 1 in Kaduna Plateau. Bayelsa faces prolonged blackout as vandals destroy 13 transmission towers. World Health Organization declares Mpox a global public health emergency. On the foreign scene, Senegal president calls for renewed dialogue with national press. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thanks for joining us. Now, the Nigerian army says it has successfully eliminated 2 terrorists, arrested an armed criminal suspect, and seized arms and ammunition in preemptive operations conducted by the troops. In a statement on a social media handle, the army said on the 14th of August 2024, troops acting on credible intelligence on terrorist activities carried out an ambush along Kwana Uri village in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. It said the troops recovered 1 AK-47 rifle, 288 rounds of RG-55 ammunition, 40 rounds of CJ-95 ammunition, 6 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, a Boafeng communication radio, and a motorcycle. According to the statement, the suspect was found to illegitimately possess a fabricated automatic rifle. Over in Katsina State, the police command on Wednesday said it has foiled a kidnapping attempt at Yanshantuma village in Dalmusa local government area of the state and rescued 7 victims. The spokesman of the command, ASP Abubakar Siddiq Aliyu, disclosed this in a statement issued in the state on Wednesday. He said the distress call was received at the Dalmusa Divisional Police Headquarters that some suspected bandits attacked the village. Siddiq Aliyu said that the DPO quickly mobilized a search and rescue team to the scene where the surrounding bushes were vigorously combed. According to him, 4 occupants of the abandoned vehicle were successfully rescued following a fierce gun duel with the suspected kidnappers and rushed to the hospital for medical attention. Efforts are being intensified to arrest the fleeing bandits as the investigation proceeds. Commending the efforts of the operatives, the Commissioner of Police in the state urged them to sustain the tempo. The police spokesman called on residents to keep providing the command and other security agencies with crucial and timely information on criminal activities. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawali, says the armed forces of Nigeria requires 200 million rounds of ammunition annually for its operations. He said the volume will cost the federal government at least $2 per ammunition. The minister disclosed this in Abuja on Wednesday at the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Defense through the Defense Industries Corporations of Nigeria and the National Agency for Science and Engineering on the establishment of an ammunition production factory in Nigeria. He blamed past governments for the nation's failure to achieve self-sufficiency in the production of military hardware. Matawali assured Nigerians that the Defense Industries Corporation will, in the next 3 years, export its military capabilities through local manufacturing of military hardware. Away from security, Bayelsa State is facing a prolonged blackout as the transmission company of Nigeria, TCN, revealed the vandalism of 13 transmission towers along the Awada-Yanogwa 132 kV double circuit line. According to a statement from TCN's General Manager, Public Affairs, Didimba, the outage will also affect some communities in Rivers State. During an inspection led by the General Manager of the Port Harcourt Transmission Region, Emmanuel Akpa, it was discovered that 9 towers had collapsed, with 4 others on the verge of collapsing. The vandalism was first reported by the Ukbeli Community Youth President on August 12, 2024. TCN's Managing Director, Sule Abdulaziz, described the incident as a national disaster, calling on the Rivers and Bayelsa state governments to help address the escalating vandalism of critical power infrastructure. This comes as TCN is still working to restore towers previously vandalized in July. Still staying with power matters, Abuja households are grappling with higher electricity bills following a system upgrade by the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company. This reflects the nationwide trend as the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission announced a 40% tariff hike in July for Band A users who typically receive 20 hours of power daily. Despite the upgrades, many households report steeper costs. In this report, Noel Sampson speaks to FCT residents about their reactions to the soaring electricity tariffs. Here's his report.
FCT residents shared their thoughts on the rising electricity costs, expressing how the tariff hike has impacted their daily lives. Many spoke of adjusting their lifestyles, cutting down on electricity usage, and adopting new habits to cope with the increased expenses.
2,000, you go realize 3 days, 4 days, but now if you put 2,000, you no go reach 2 days, man, say you don't finish. And if you say you want to do bus pass, what they do, they will charge us 200,000, 100,000. You don't have to that time. We do bus pass. Now they can't check. They say and they charge us 200,000. We can't they pay.
1K fee do like 1 week, 4 days, 5 days. But now even 10K self, you know, people do 1 week again. So we no fit continue like this. Electricity don't cost now. I no fit buy. I no fit charge my laptop. No problem. Even fuel don't cost. I no fit on use the laptop too.
Not really. Even as the book enter, it can't be as if it was safe. If not compared to like before, the way the light, now the lights. You know, but imagine us staying in Abuja City compared to like before. You can boast in Abuja City that they will have lights compared to other places like mostly south. But now the light safe. Sometimes they will call the carry light around 12, 7. Normal at least. Even it's a shame. This is 21st century. We don't do this. So Nigeria as a country is supposed to boast of at least 24 hours of light. But when we go to the country, we cannot even get 24 hours of light, and we are still paying for that light. Generator now they advertise Mecano, every form of generator. Sometimes I don't even wonder if as if our government self now then they in charge of this generator of 18. If not, it's a shame. Small country like Ghana here, Nigeria here, they can boast of light more than us. But they shout giant of Africa. What's the use of being giant of Africa?
The electricity which I was supposed to be recharging 2,000, you have to serve me before. Even I put it to I cannot use it into some hours. The thing went off because the high rate of the tariff was very high. So I could no longer use electricity. Even my cookers, I can no longer use them. And now I'm using charcoal to be able to meet up because I use the electricity before I know it will run down. Even when we are trying to say we are hungry, we are trying to protest that time, it's part of what we are saying. Bring the high cost of things down so that we can live. We don't care what we are doing as a rock.
According to these residents, the tariff hikes haven't resulted in improved electricity distribution. Instead, they claim the steep increases have fueled more corruption without any noticeable enhancement in power supply. They are urging the central government to intervene and address the situation. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Executive Chairman of the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, Jalal Arabi, and the Commission Secretary, Abdullahi Kontogora, are in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over allegations of mismanaging the 90 billion naira 2024 Hajj subsidy. The Punch reported on Wednesday documents obtained by the EFCC revealed that Arabi and other top officials fraudulently overpaid themselves from the subsidy, leading to the recovery of 314,098. The investigation also showed that Arabi received 50,000, far above his entitled 15,929, while other officials were similarly overpaid. Additionally, 8.6 million in cash withdrawals from the subsidy funds remain unaccounted for. The Anti-Graft Agency is also investigating payments made to staff for study tours that were never conducted and to a consulting firm for unrendered services, with evidence of backdated approvals and fraudulent transactions. Arabi, who was previously interrogated on July 29 and released on bail, was again taken in for questioning on Wednesday as investigations continue. Barely 1 week to the local government elections in Bauchi State, two political parties have threatened to boycott the poll and institute legal action against the Bauchi State Independent Electoral Commission over alleged lack of electoral guidelines. They disclosed this in a separate interviews with Trust TV in the wake of preparation towards the forthcoming elections slated for 17th August 2024. Trust TV's Adamu Imam tells us more.
The political parties also allege that the high cost of nomination forms paid by the electoral body is a systematic plan to disenfranchise the opposition parties, especially the smaller ones. However, the Labour Party in the state has expressed readiness to participate, especially in the councillorship elections.
We have tried to convince them that the time is short, but notwithstanding they refuse. They say we should write in writing according to them. That's why we keep moving. We follow the umbrella of IFAC to channel our complaint, but all of it. That's why we don't have any option as such than to take legal action if they refuse to consider our demand. Because as Zenel Labour Party is concerned, if they are going to have a proper and fair election, we are going to win.
These guidelines is key, and as SDP is one of the registered political parties in Nigeria, it's our right, it's our constitutional right to issue that guidelines. It's that guideline that will guide us to identify who and who to be nominated as our candidate. But unfortunately, they do not provide us with that. That is why we suspect that it is not going to be free, it is not going to be fair for all of us. That is why we quit and we make our stand very clear.
What we want the INEC, since the INEC independent, the State Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, have already fixed the date of the election, so we have no option than to participate in the election. Because as far as we are Labour Party concerned, we are fully ready, and even yesterday we discussed with our support group and party candidate to come out in mass to participate in the election.
But the Bauchi State Electoral Commission denies allegation of not issuing electoral guidelines, saying it had issued some in the build-up to the conduct of the forthcoming local council polls.
Our success is people to come forward and participate in the exercise. If you don't come, okay, what do we say to the people of Bauchi State? So what happened to one of the political parties was really unintelligent.
Meanwhile, some potential voters in the state are wary that the election may be business as usual, except all stakeholders are just and fair. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
National Oil Company, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, said it has uncovered and confiscated products from 63 illegal refineries in the past week. A documentary about the company on Wednesday said in the past week, 19 illegal pipeline connections at 63 illegal refineries were uncovered in the Niger Delta. The company announced the development amidst fresh concerns over the delay in the commencement of operations by the Port Harcourt refinery as earlier announced. The Port Harcourt Refinery Company, a refinery under the management of the company in Rivers State, had again failed to commence operations after about 6 postponements. The Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources and NNPCL had promised to get the refinery up and running this month. However, no sign of the facility kick-starting crude oil refining just yet as the month drags to an end. In July, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPCL, Milikari, stated categorically that the refinery would come into operation in early August. This is after he said in 2019 that the NNPCL would deliver all the country's 4 refineries before the end of former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. However, the refinery has yet to commence operations as August hits midpoint today, sparking concerns that this might be another failed promise from the National Oil Company. NNPCL has yet to comment on the reason for the delay. However, in a bid to show its efforts at combating crude oil theft and boosting the country's revenue, the company said 63 illegal refineries have been uncovered. This is the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. World Health Organization declares Mpox a global public health emergency. When we return, please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. A recap of our top stories. We told you that troops neutralized 2 terrorists, arrest 1 in Kaduna Plateau. We also informed you that in Bayelsa faces prolonged blackout as vandals destroy 13 transmission towers. To more stories. The management of Media Trust Group, operators of the award-winning Trust TV, has restated its commitment to quality, factual and in-depth broadcasting that is in sync with the realities of the times. At an event to mark its 3rd anniversary, the group assured that despite the challenges in the industry, the station will continue to uphold the highest standards of professionalism to ensure that viewers are effectively mobilized to make informed decisions as it documents the Nigerian story. Dr. Yakubu completes the report.
Over the past 3 years, Trust TV has earned a reputation for its comprehensive news coverage, investigative reporting, and thought-provoking documentaries. The channel's dedication to integrity, accuracy, and unbiased reporting has made it a trusted name in a competitive media environment. Since coming on board 3 years ago, the station has won several awards, including industry-based and other recognitions by reputable organizations.
We feel really proud. We're happy that we are where we are today. The journey has been quite tough, but we really appreciate the tremendous sacrifices of the staff and wish to reassure them that, like they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. We are quite confident that pretty soon we will be on DSTV because a lot of them are excited seeing us on DSTV, and I assure them that we're engaging with MultiChoice and will soon be there.
It's been success all the way, and we believe it's just the beginning. In some years to come, the company through the television arm will compete with those that are very well known in the industry today. So I would like to congratulate all of us, especially the staff of Trust TV, for this feat.
The last 3 years have been fulfilling. We are just starting. We are expanding our platforms. Our audiences are growing. So we'll continue to do better and reach different audiences because Trust TV is, our tagline is documenting the Nigerian story. But basically, it's not just, we don't just want to sit down in the studios and talk. We want to go to the hinterlands, we want to go to cities and villages and tell the difficult stories that don't often come on TV. So we've been doing that and we'll continue to do that, and we'll continue to expand our audience base. 3 years is just a starting point for a young TV channel like ours. We think we're doing well. We'll continue to improve so that we can get to that level and compete at the highest level.
At 3, the station says it is not just celebrating its accomplishments, but also expressing gratitude to its viewers, dedicated team, and supportive partners. The station says in the years ahead, it remains dedicated to its mission of delivering trustworthy and impactful content that resonates with audiences both near and far, with a promise of documenting the Nigerian story. Dr. Yakubu, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Congratulations again to Trust TV. On health matters, the World Health Organization has declared the Mpox outbreaks in Congo and elsewhere in Africa a global emergency, with cases confirmed among children and adults in more than a dozen countries and a new form of the virus spreading. Few vaccine doses are available on the continent. Earlier this week, the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced that the Mpox outbreaks were a public health emergency with more than 500 deaths, and called for international help to stop the virus's spread. The Africa CDC previously said that Mpox, also known as monkeypox, has been detected in 13 countries this year, and that more than 96% of all cases and deaths are in Congo. Cases are up 160% and deaths are up 19% compared with the same period last year. So far, there have been more than 14,000 cases and 524 people have died.
Mpox has been reported in the Democratic Republic of the Congo for more than a decade, and the number of cases reported each year has increased steadily over that period. Last year, reported cases increased significantly, and already the number of cases reported so far this year has exceeded last year's total, with more than 14,000 cases and 524 deaths.
In business, the stock market maintained its losing streak for the 3rd consecutive session as the value of transactions by equity investors declined by 60.62%. Specifically, investors exchanged a total of 315.30 million shares valued at 5.48 billion naira in 8,365 deals against 599.25 million shares valued at 13.92 billion naira traded in 11,237 deals recorded on Tuesday. As a result, the market capitalization, which opened at 55.296 trillion naira, shed 108 billion naira or 0.20% to close at 55.188 trillion naira. The all-share index also lost 0.20% to close at 97,199.6 basis points posted in the previous session. Consequently, the year-to-date return fell to 0.06%. Meanwhile, bearish sentiment in Transnational Corporation Guarantee Trust Holding Company, Fidelity Bank, among other declined equities, pulled the market down. Market bread also closed negative with 25 losers and 22 gainers on the floor of the exchange. Away from Nigeria, Senegal's President Bassirou Diomaye Faye on Wednesday called for appropriate recovery measures for the national press following widespread strikes over economic pressures and perceived threats to press freedom. Faye emphasized the need for renewed dialogue between the government and the media, urging particular attention and solutions to address the industry's challenges. The president tasked the communications minister with ensuring that the press operates within regulations and in a spirit of openness. The media blackout held on Tuesday by newspapers, radio and television broadcasters protested against the financial strain on the industry. The Senegalese Council of Press Distributors and Publishers warned that the sector is under threat, citing frozen bank accounts, equipment seizures and cancelled advertising contracts as critical issues. Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko, who took office in April, has accused some media executives of misappropriating public funds and criticized news outlets for publishing without reliable sources. And finally, in sports, Nigerian Women Football League champions Edo Queens has zoomed into the semi-final of the 2024 WAFU B CAF Women's Champions League qualifier with a resounding victory over Hasaka's Ladies. The Nigerians started their campaign on a good note with a comprehensive victory over Asgard. Facing the Ghanaian champions with confidence, Edo Queens recorded another 3-0 win. MMSN put Edo Queens ahead in the second half before Moses Esther and Suliat Abidin wrapped up the game. The victory means Edo Queens qualified for the semi-final after recording 2 wins. And with that, we've come to the end of News Update at this time. For more of our news programs and documentaries, do want to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time.